We always like that kind of news.
As I said, it makes my meetings a little easier when the market's up. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Thank you. All right, moving on then to E3 operations. We have a fixed route ridership report for February in your packet for review. As you can see, another strong performance from last month compared to the year before. Continued trend positively for the year, up nearly 40%. Revenue continues to track about 20% up. One small note to the fiscal year total, we did add in, retroactively added in about 6,000 rides that we were finally able to draw out of the data from Stroll on State. So Stroll on State wasn't included in November numbers, and we're finally able to get those numbers out of the data that we've been challenged with in the past. So those are in there and added to that total. And but in general, we're trending to finish the year, project to finish the year with about 1.2, 1.3 million rides in fixed rail service, which is welcome news. Not quite back where we were, but getting really close. And now it's 7% or so where we used to be. So good news there. Strong performance again continues in night service, and our weekend service is continuing to have strong performance. So any questions?
No, it's all good news.
All right, we'll continue on then to the maintenance report. The facilities first report picked about buses and paratransit vehicles. Any questions on that data, PM's inspections?
Is that me or is that the?
Oh, that's me. Sorry. I was
Okay.
adjusting the volume.
I just want to know if I was doing that.
I thought it was me and they're gonna turn mine off.
Yeah, no questions on it.
All right, and then we're going to the main facilities report. So just real quick update on that. Charging infrastructure project. They're due to be in for, to start working on that. The system itself, the sprinkler system, that's all done and finalized and signed off on. We just need to get ChargePoint in here and finish that work to get them started. So this time, hopefully in a couple of weeks, for sure, we should be ready to roll with that. So that's good news. Paratransit ban order. George and Dan were out in New York doing final inspections in the past couple of days. Red-eye back last night. Hi, George.
Hi.
See you.
Good to be back.
Thanks for all your work on that. Quick dash out to sign off on those and get those back. Expecting those 14 vehicles here in a couple of weeks, which is welcome news. We've been really waiting the arrival of those, so glad that we've coming up. I can include it's the expansion update here in a second on the other part. I'll circle back to that. So if there's any questions on that, we'll move on to the next item of business then. The approval of bus shelter award. So including your packet is a memo outlining the purchase of 6 standard 5x10 bus shelters. Went out and got quotes from a couple of our manufacturers on that. Toller and Brasco came in with the lowest quote at $87,750, which is $14,625 each. These shelters will be funded purely out of local capital. In looking at our local capital fund, we felt we needed to draw from that to make sure that we're utilizing those funds, and so there's no other. When I say local capital, not fares or anything else, a lot of those funds are grown out of disposal of paratransit vehicles or fixed route vehicles and so forth. So we are needing to utilize that funding and apply it back into a capital purchase. And when we have a need now for shelter in several locations for several projects, what we'd like to get ordered 6 of these that we can move forward with taking care of some of the upkeep and maintenance and replacement of shelters that have become lost, damaged, or past their useful life on the streets. So submit for your approval is purchase for 6 shelters.
I'll make a motion to approve award of shelter procurement to Brasco International for a total of $87,750.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, thank you. Then item D, circling back to the expansion update. Last word from IDOT is they're very close to pre-bid concurrence. So we're hoping to hear back from them in the next week or two, so that that's finally ready to move forward with getting set up for formal bidding. The city is still reviewing plans, they're in plan review, but that doesn't necessarily preclude the bid from moving forward. We just want to ensure that there's nothing in there that's going to cause, you know, some changes that we don't want to have to deal, or that we want to deal with it now as opposed to dealing with it after the fact in the bid. So waiting to resolve a couple of those items before we move forward, but we're very close to moving the bid forward. Good news, we've been having some coordination calls with ComEd on the transformers and kind of that big electrical piece. One of those items is a really advanced order item that you need to get in line and make sure that that's in production, so that you're not sitting and waiting for it on the back end. And as a result of some of our coordination meetings, we've got that moved up and scheduled, I think, accordingly for delivery now, to match up with the facility when we're ready to move forward. So we were concerned about that initially, but it seems like we're back on schedule with that, and so that's good news. Aside from that, yeah, the big one is just, waiting for the stage and plan review at this point, and once that's done, then we're ready to start moving forward with the formal process. So hopefully this time next month when we meet, that we'll even have better news.
Okay.
So if there's no other questions with that, then we can move on to the next item, which is E5 and the item A, the claims history for February. So it's in your packet for review. Are there any questions on that information for this month? A little bit, a little other direction this month than the prior month, but still.
Year to date.
Year to date, nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
month to month. Okay.
Mhm.
No other
No
questions?
questions.
Now on that, we can move on to E6, marketing, the approval of advertising contracts. Orlando?
Yeah, just one contract, this go around, the Remedies for Renewing Lives. We've done with them, or they've advertised with us, over the last couple of years. They just got some new grant money that they wanna, renew something that they did a couple months ago. So 3 street side signs is what they're asking for.
So that's the item.
I'll make a motion to approve the advertising contract with Renewing Lives.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank
All
you.
right, then item B, then the approval of service requests.
Yeah, Rockford Crisis Nursery, formerly known as Mother House. Last year I butchered their name. They're doing their annual event where they raise things that they need for their program. Diapers, things for infants, formula, all that stuff. This event, this 3-day event, supplies them for their whole year. So they're asking us to provide a bus for Stuff to Bus again for April 4th through April 6th.
Staff's in agreement.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the special service request from the Rockford Crisis Nursery.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on then to E7 grants, approval of the fiscal year 2024 certs and assurances. You may recall this is a yearly exercise that the board certifies that we're meeting all the requirements associated with our federal applications and checking each one of the boxes. And as such, the board then authorizes the executive director to submit the certs and assurances on their behalf. So we have first and foremost the approval of the certs and assurances, and that'd be the approval of designation of signature authority to me, and then the approval of that's a sign of this type of thing. But so first and foremost, approval of federal fiscal year certs and assurances. If I can get there's no questions, motion on that.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then item B then is approval of designation of signature authority, so board designates me to sign for that.
I'll make a motion to approve the designation of signature authority.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then, moving on to item C, which is the approval of resolution, R 24-02, the IDA FY 25 dope agreement, which is the complement to the budget that you approved earlier. So again, that we didn't have those two items together, but we should have. Which simply is approving resolution to submit the agreement and then authorize the district to authorize the executive director again to execute the grant or the operating systems agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution R 24-02.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Then safety and training, E8, the safety and training update reports, put it in your packet for review. And for dash two. That's coming.
Yep, that'll be another business.
That's coming.
Yep.
That's down on the list.
Yep.
Okay, O2 and O3.
Signed early.
I thought for a second there we.
I mean, Susan doesn't have to sign.
Scratch that from the record.
All right, safety and training report. Review or any questions on that update?
I was a little concerned about the service accidents, 5 to 1, that's not usual.
It was related to weather conditions during those bad storms we had.
And our other,
That's not surprised.
that and our other incidents as well.
Oh,
So, any other
no
questions?
questions.
Okay, great. I was gonna know one other thing, just as a mention, one of the contractual items that we had from our last CBA with ATU, and it's already somewhat embedded in our IBW, was that that we have safety shoes. To recognize that it's important to eliminate slips, trips, and falls, the district, and we agreed to the district to fund a pair of safety shoes for our employees, and so we had a shoe truck, safety suit truck on property the past couple of days, outfitting folks with safety shoes and making sure that we've got appropriate footwear and safe footwear to limit that particular risk that we do experience, especially on a day like today, right? So
Yeah, right.
this kind of hits home on those types of things where we want to make sure that folks, you know, as they walk around and traverse between the vehicles and taking care of things out on the street and unloading wheelchairs and things of that nature, have slip resistant soles and protective footwear to prevent injury. So just those little things that we're doing to make sure that we improve.
And you got positive comments back
Oh, yeah.
from the employees?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So very welcome, very welcome addition to that. Like I said, it's something that we already have as part of the tool allowance for downstairs. Stopping on property, if you will, as opposed to going off to use your stipend for that. So. All right. No other questions, we'll move on then to other business. Item A, approval resolution 2403, the NMT EEO plan. So, in front of you is the district's required EEO plan that must undergo a periodic review and submission to the FTA every 3 years. 4 years, is it? 3 years is the other one, I think. That's the Title 6. No, not two. So.
If you'd like, I have to notes
Yes.
that I've
So I was
prepared.
gonna turn it over to you.
Still need a water bottle too. Cool. There you go.
So yeah, this is our EEO plan that FTA requires 2024 through 2028. I was fortunate in that Lisa had trailblazed this for me, but I made a lot of tweaks to it. It's a detailed analysis of our workforce and employment practices. Talks about how we can disseminate and, get buy-in from all our staff for the EEO plan. It lays out I created specific timelines for reporting to the board and to staff talks about education and adoption by managers and by the workforce. Compared our internal data against the US Census data for Rockford. It's primarily, to advance minorities and women in the workplace. And somehow we managed to accomplish quite a few of Lisa's goals from 4 years ago. And just some of they have like tells you in order to attain parity, how many types of people you have to hire per department to get there. We're not always going to be able to do that just based on the small sizes of some of our groups like management. However, they say we only need 1 white female for that. Admin support, we need 8 white females. There's probably only like 20 people in the group now, so I don't foresee that we'll be hiring that many people. As far as mechanics and building engineers, Hispanic males, white females and Hispanic females, drivers, Hispanic males, 1 Asian male, white females and Hispanic females. So it kind of talks about, or I talk about rather, the things that we do to recruit and how we can attract certain segments of the population to come and work for us. I think that our referral bonus plan has really helped a lot because often people refer people like them to come and work here. So we've done a good job of kind of bolstering our ranks. Although I think we're getting ready to do another big hiring push because we're having quite a few people retire. So this also goes into, if you want to do a deep dive, because I sure did, talks about how many people submitted applications and their breakdown, male or female and by race. Talks about suspensions and terminations. It talks about promotions. The very end, it talks about what the goals were from 2020. There's also a section in here for my goals for 2024, 2028. So it's a lot. And with your approval, Paul will submit this Monday.
Let's do it do it at the end of the yeah. So, any questions first and foremost?
Just as the last time that you had FTA on property, did this subject come up?
So that's DEO plan is part of their triennial review.
Yeah.
And as you recall, we don't have any findings, and so this.
Right.
They make sure that you have one,
Yes.
and then it has the required elements.
Right, and they review elements of that, and
That was their one discussion, was just that it met the requirements.
As far as I recall, I mean, it was, they pretty much glossed over it because we were in compliance with everything. but-
yeah. I mean, a lot of that, included in this is your harassment procedures and policies and
How to
monitor
report
that and
discrimination.
So it's not just your hiring piece, but it's all of those elements that are included in there. So yeah, that was all reviewed as part of last summer's. So no other questions. We have then the approval of resolution 2403 for the RMT EO plan, and it's then of course authorizing staff to submit that to FTA.
I would make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So with that, we're at the end of the agenda. I think we figured out the next meeting.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Next meeting, Monday, April 22nd. That's our annual meeting, by the way.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Good with you, Pastor Johnson? Okay, great. Yes, then, we already decided on the May meeting too, so I'll fill that out as well and let David know.
Been quite early.
yeah, anything else other than Susan for all your hard work?
Man, Susan.
There's a lot of heavy lift.
All right.
Oh, we'll make that motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
That never happens again.
Back.
Signed or